What if I told you that the loudest applause a politician ever gave for someone else's arrest has now echoed back to his own doorstep? There's a saying our elders love to repeat: what goes around comes around. Today, that proverb is not just a line from folklore, it feels like a live broadcast. Because the man who once publicly celebrated the arrest of another political figure is now sitting in the hot seat himself. The former governor of Kaduna State, Nnamdi El-Rufai, is at the center of a storm that is shaking Nigeria's political space to its core. And this is not social media gossip. This is not a rumor whispered in back corridors. This is an unfolding drama involving the Department of State Services and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, two agencies you do not want knocking on your door at the same time. According to explosive reports, allegations totaling a staggering 432 billion naira are hanging over his head. Yes, you heard that right. Not millions. Billions. A figure so massive it's hard to even process. That kind of money could transform entire communities, rebuild schools, fix hospitals, repair dangerous highways, empower thousands of young people. Instead, investigators say it may have disappeared through questionable contracts, withdrawals, and financial maneuvers during his 8 years in office. But let's slow down and take this step by step. For nearly 2 years, murmurs have been growing louder. The Kaduna State House of Assembly had earlier indicted his administration, claiming over 423 billion naira was siphoned. As investigators kept digging, that figure reportedly climbed to 432 billion. Files opened. Documents reviewed. Transactions traced. And then came the move that turned whispers into a political earthquake. Operatives reportedly swooped in. Not a friendly invitation. Not a casual request for questioning. A serious operation. Abuja witnessed the kind of tension you only see when the powerful are confronted by power. And here's where the irony becomes almost cinematic. Cast your mind back to when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and brought back to Nigeria. It was a deeply emotional moment for his followers. But El-Rufai did not hide his feelings. He openly congratulated the federal government. He expressed happiness over the arrest. He described it as justice being served. He made it clear where he stood. Fast forward to today. The roles appear reversed. The man who once applauded an arrest now finds himself answering tough questions in an interrogation room. Social media has exploded. Supporters of Kanu are flooding timelines with karma posts. Memes are circulating. Comment sections are on fire. People are calling it poetic justice. Others are calling it political warfare. But nobody is calling it boring. And then the plot thickens. Financial allegations alone are heavy enough. But when the DSS enters the picture, it shifts the narrative from corruption to something potentially bigger. Reports suggest questions are being asked about national security concerns, including alleged surveillance or wiretapping of top officials. If true, that's not just financial misconduct, that's a direct collision with the state security apparatus. Think about that for a second. The EFCC deals with money. The DSS deals with threats to national stability. When both agencies show interest in one individual, it signals something serious. Very serious. Political observers are now dissecting every move El-Rufai has made since leaving office. His recent criticisms of the current administration. His alignment with certain opposition voices. His comments that ruffled feathers at the top. In politics, alliances shift quickly. Protection can evaporate overnight. Power has no permanent friends. Only permanent interest. And this is what makes this story gripping. El-Rufai was not a fringe politician. He was a key player. A strategist. A man who influenced national conversations. He played a role in major political transitions. He was seen as one of the strong voices in the ruling party structure. For someone of that stature to be pulled in for questioning sends a loud message across the entire political class: nobody is untouchable. Now imagine the interrogation room. Documents on the table. Screens showing transaction trails. Investigators asking precise questions. Where did this transfer go? Who authorized this withdrawal? Why was this loan taken? Every answer matters. Every hesitation matters. Meanwhile, the public watches. For the people of Kaduna State, emotions are mixed. Some are angry, demanding accountability for years of hardship and insecurity. Others are cautious, warning against political witch hunts. Some are simply stunned. And then there's the human angle. A day that might have started with routine meetings and birthday wishes reportedly ended with cautionary statements and legal consultations. That's a dramatic turn in anyone's life. One moment you're a political heavyweight. The next, you're explaining yourself to investigators. Supporters argue that he is being targeted. Critics insist the evidence will speak for itself. Analysts are debating whether this is law enforcement doing its job or politics playing chess at the highest level. But beyond the noise, there's a deeper lesson unfolding. Words spoken in power have a long memory. Statements made when you feel invincible can echo years later in ways you never imagined. When El-Rufai celebrated Kanu's arrest, he likely believed he was on the right side of history. Today, as he navigates his own legal storm, those past comments are being replayed everywhere. The hunter becoming the hunted is a narrative people can't resist. What happens next? Will 4 more charges be filed? Will he secure bail quickly? Will this escalate into a full-blown court battle broadcast across every media platform? Or will backroom negotiations attempt to calm the storm? The involvement of security agencies suggests this story is far from over. If anything, it's just beginning. And every development from this point forward will be watched like a season finale of a political thriller. Because this is bigger than one man. This is about accountability. About power. About loyalty. About the fragile nature of political alliances. About how quickly the tide can turn. Today it's El-Rufai. Tomorrow, who knows? One thing is certain, Nigeria's political space just got a reminder that the seat of authority is never permanent. The same system you defend can one day demand answers from you. The same applause you give for another man's arrest can echo back louder than you expect. And as this drama unfolds, one question hangs in the air. When justice knocks, are you ready to open the door?